Nigerians, Nnamdi Kanu, breaking news. Make una listen to this video. Make una slow down. Listen to this video you guys are seeing on this background. I first tell una before say it is not over yet. Make una come here waiting this lawyer, Barrister Darlington, waiting they expose for inside this video about this Mazi Nnamdi Kanu matter and in all reaction for so many questions wey be say they ask am for inside this video about the happenings in this country. But na the way country react to this Mazi Nnamdi Kanu matter at the ending of this particular video. Now wetin I wan make you hear with your 2 ears, because this barrister don set internet to fire. And make una share the video.
The U.S. Congress actually held a hearing in Washington talking about the designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern. They also spoke about what, in their words, is Nigeria's poor judiciary and the lack of rule of law. And they also cited Nnamdi Kanu as an example. And I actually want us to take a listen to what one of the congressmen said during the hearing.
Good. They are becoming interested in Nigeria. Good.
22, Nigeria's Court of Appeals struck down the charges against him and ordered his release. The UN Working Group on Arbitrary Detention has also called for his unconditional release. Yet he remains in solitary confinement, in deteriorating health, and recently had to represent himself in court. Nigeria has signaled that the law is optional and targeting Christians is fair game. Just hours ago this morning, despite the pleas and cries of the Nigerian people and many Nigerian lawmakers, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was convicted on all charges. For fiscal year 2025, the U.S. has requested nearly $8 billion for sub-Saharan Africa. But when Americans see political prisoners, judicial defiance, and the slaughter of Christians, they understandably ask as they meet their own struggles, why should our tax dollars support governments that refuse to protect their own people? Is our aid aiding a genocide? Nigeria is a nation of tremendous potential, but that potential is being choked out by violent persecution of its Christian population. No country can build a stable future where churches are burned, believers are killed, and communities live in fear.
Yeah.
All right, that was actually a U.S. congressman speaking on the situation in Nigeria and also talking about Nnamdi Kanu's case.
Good.
Now, we've seen a section of Nigerians rejoicing over his conviction and the life imprisonment. We've seen the federal government actually calling for a death sentence. The court says, oh, it's within our purview to give a death sentence, but we will temper justice with mercy and just give you life imprisonment. That is to say, he should be happy that they pitied him and did not send him to the gallows. Do you think that this judgment will actually increase? We've been preaching unity. We've been saying there should be no ethnic baiting, there should be no ethnocentrism, we should all be happy to be part of one Nigeria. Do you think that this judgment would actually widen the divide between the people of the Southeast and other Nigerians? Because many people from Southeast are now saying that they feel even more marginalized, because they're saying when it comes to terrorism, if the person is not from the Southeast, the federal government will treat it with kid gloves. They'll say they want to negotiate, they'll say they are repentant terrorists, they'll admit them into the Nigerian army, but that if it has to do with someone from the Southeast, like in the case of Nnamdi Kanu, that person receives the highest or the worst possible judgment.
Good. This thing that I heard now from the U.S. government, a lawmaker, in fact, it glanced in my heart. That's what I've been saying, that they should be made aware of what is going on here, so that it will be on record. Now that this thing is going on, will anybody come tomorrow and ask Igbo people, why are you agitating? Can you tell me how you are marginalized? When you see things like this, how can the people be happy? Tell me. No, who is that person that will be happy? When you see things that are going on in Nigeria today, how can you be happy? The outside world even know more than us. Look at that man, what he said now. He read out, even including Nnamdi Kanu's ordeal, and how the West African court have even said, look, release this man. They said no. But other terrorists, remember what happened to Mieti Allah leader when they formed one terrorist group?
It was a vigilante.
A vigilante group, good. That may turn into something else. The government disbanded it. It took the man to court and all that. Within hours, the man was released. The case did not go on at all. They released the man. they release him. How many times have government had meeting with these people? Have anybody called IPOB and said, come, what is your problem? What are you agitating? Did anybody one day from Buhari to Tinubu, did anybody call them for a meeting and they refused to answer? Eh? You can see, but you see how they are pampering terrorists, calling them for a meeting. This is in the domain of international community. So I am no longer bothered. The world is watching.
But again, Vice Darlington, the question I asked is, do you think that the unity we've been trying to preach,
how
this
can
judgment destroys it?
Hold on. How can they be? You cannot talk of unity, peace, and progress without what? Justice now. You can't. Even the government knows. They are just wasting their time. It's not possible. I told them that this thing that they allow these terrorists to be doing, it will cause problem for them. Problem that they cannot handle. Because I don't see how these people continue to take states, take other people's land, from the north to the middle belt to southwest to southeast. You mean this thing will continue and nobody will react, Abi? Nobody will react. It's not possible now. It's a matter of time.
All right. I want us to start taking calls in about 2 minutes.
It's a matter of time.
Would you say that the Southeast leaders did their best to ensure that this judgment did not go the way it has gone?
They did.
Because if we cast our mind back, some Southeast governors, we could say they actually rejoiced or they called for the prescription of IPOB.
They did all those things. Just for what? For the optics, not that inside their heart.
So the Southeast leaders, the Southeast governors, did they do their best for Nnamdi Kanu or not?
Why not? They did. Who did not go and beg Buhari and Tinubu? Who? The letters was the letter they write, 44 lawmakers. Is that not a fact? Iwanya went to plead. The last of them, the Titan, Mbazulize, he said, please, let this be the last wish for me. Release this my son to me. Did anybody listen? Ohaneze went. All the leaders of Igbo, they wrote letter, they wrote. It's there in Aso Rock. Did they listen to them? Because they were working towards this answer. Yes, they were working towards this answer. I said people have done worse than Nnamdi Kanu, and nobody even arrested them, not to talk of prosecuting them. Is that not a fact? Please tell me. Do you know what it means to go and adopt people in their homes and took them to the forest and they are living with you? A foreigner told you Bello. If I remember that man, I used to wonder, is there anything wrong with Nigeria? A foreigner in Nigeria terrorizing Nigerians in their own land, and nobody is saying a word. Chioma, please, how do you describe that? The people that are talking of emotion, how do you describe? Because you are not involved now. Yes, it has not affected you. That's why you are running your mouth. Emotion. Do you know what? As I'm talking to you now, some Nigerians are in that man's domain. Told you, Bello. Some Nigerians are in his captive. And you do not bother Nigerian government that look. It's unfortunate, seriously. Very, very unfortunate. Leah Sharibu, where is that girl now? Nobody. And you are telling me we should all keep quiet, Abi? No, don't apply emotion. Emotion. Look at their mouth and emotion. Telling me I will be emotion.
We do know that another Biafra agitator, Simon Ekpa, was actually convicted by the court in Finland of a terrorism act or terrorism-related activities due to this same violent rhetoric, due to this same calling for violence to be perpetrated on certain people around the southeast. They say that people who were murdered, people who suffered incidences of violence was due to what he said. Now Nnamdi Kanu has been convicted. He's been sentenced to life imprisonment. Simon Ekpa has also been convicted. He's currently incarcerated. What does that portend in that for the Biafra agitation? Doesn't mean that Biafra was never meant to be?
No.
I mean, from Ojuku's efforts were truncated. Nnamdi Kanu's efforts seem to have been truncated. I mean, let's not even talk about Simon Ekpa and his own rhetorics. Does that mean that Biafra, we're not going to see it and it was never meant to be?
It's not possible. If you go and look at the book written by Frederick Fawcett, in the last chapter he said, it will not be long before another Ojukwu will rise, another Emeka Ojukwu will rise. Nobody, that prophecy, nobody knew when it would come or how it will come, but it came. Is that not true? So when you are talking of agitation, it will continue. It will continue even in the next 1,000 years. It will continue until the right thing is done. Remember the Irish Republic or so. You remember how long they disturbed the UK until the right thing is done. Is that not why there are peace in America, in the UK today? Go and check all the places where there is agitation. Go and check what caused it. Government came in and said, so this is the problem. Oh yeah, come. Let's settle it. Is it not when they settled that everybody now became quiet? But you cannot keep quiet in the face of injustice. It can never happen. Somebody will be angry. What are you telling me? This one that Sheikh Gumi is telling us that are they Nigerians? How do we reconcile and settle with the bandits who came from outside Nigeria? That's the question.
Thank you for watching that video. So guys, before you leave, look at the top here. Do well to follow the page and also put on notification so that whenever we upload any video in this great platform, you will be the first to see it. And please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and drop your opinion at the comment section. What do you think about this video? See guys, I'll see you guys some other time.